talked a bit about everything. I don't know. There's a lot of information I have to process right now, so my brain is a bit mushy. So if you want to talk about something specific, we can. He might have mentioned it, I don't remember. I think we primarily looked at the book and what everything kind of signified, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, if you've gone over the book, that's good. Reggie is, as I know, gone pretty deep into it. I think he's found like a couple interesting things. So Barrick talks about 5 to 7 people and like a birthday party. Reggie thinks that that he's hinting that there's 5 to 7 people involved. Barrick also talks about, should I go down with the ship in hopes the information never reaches the shore?
Yeah. He pointed out that he feel like that's weird, and a weird way of saying it. I don't know. I feel like if you're saying I'm going to go down with the ship, which is not too, unusual, would make sense to say something about the shore.
I think it's also important to remember this was written like under duress,
Yeah.
I believe. These could have been his last thoughts. The note to Andy Jones.
Yes, I do want to talk about that.
If I die with the information they desire, they'll likely pry it out of someone else. If I tell them, I most likely sentence a man to death.
Okay, so from the sounds of that, it doesn't. It sounds like they don't know.
It's good though because we've figured out that it's most likely a man, because it's all stemmed from a subpoena. That's what my dad told me before he was taken.
Okay, so few notes. I was going to talk to Reggie about this, so I might as well bring that up to you. I just had a conversation with Larry.
Okay.
He has had his run-in, the Face Clan, as he calls them. Apparently, he has also talked about them. From the conversation I had with Larry just now, looking at the note in the book, I feel like the person that he is mentioning might be Larry. Andy and Larry, according to Larry himself, are close. They're in the same family, basically. Larry had a conversation with Andy, where Andy mentioned that he wasn't the only quote-unquote snitch in this case. Which I feel like, if that's the case, she might have been talking about Barrick then? And this entire thing is ping-pong in between Larry and... he's your dad, right? Yeah, your dad. I tried to ask Larry, and he didn't really give me much information, but I asked him, like, hey, has the Faceless told you directly that they know that you snitched, that you talked? And he said he hasn't been on Twitter, he hasn't heard anything from them. So it's possible that...
it could be somebody else.
It could be. The thing is that I know Andy well. Obviously, I haven't been sleeping in for a while, so I don't know what she's really up to these days. The only person that I think Andy is really close to would be Pigeon. Whenever I would have a conversation with Andy, the other party that would be involved in anything really would be Pigeon. Pigeon is a person that Andy trusts a lot, and I would assume that they are close because they have that trust with each other. So
I had no idea. I don't know anything about Andy. Like, I know she's a very nice lady. About her personal life.
No. Well, the thing is, Andy has done and tried everything. She's been the mayor. She's been a gang leader. She's been a gang, She's done everything. She knows a lot of people. A lot of information comes to her. Larry was surprised when he had a conversation with Andy that she already knew a lot of things. And there was a lot of things she didn't tell him as well. So a lot of people have talked to her about this before, from the sounds of it. My concern in this entire thing, especially with Larry as well, is that I care about Larry. He's a dumbass, don't get me wrong. But it's one of his, charms. But Larry and Andy are all in the same family. And from what Larry told me is that the Faceless is threatening him and his family, which means that they're also threatening Andy in that case. And I care about Andy. The rest of the people in that family, I don't give a shit about.
I understand. I mean, everything that, I haven't heard a lot about the Faceless, other than the few little bits that I've been told. What I have heard is that a lot of resources. You can name it, they probably have it.
From how Larry put it, that trust fund babies like Nick and I used to be.
I think that's what my dad said.
Also, from what Larry told me, is what he made it seem like is that they're upset about their name coming out there, being exposed, and that there's a shown interest in them. But at the same time, why, if you're upset about, you know, your name and about people knowing about you, why do you twat?
Yeah.
Why do you twat out?
I mean, I suppose because they can control it, you know?
Well, why wouldn't you, if you really don't want your name out there, why don't you go the opposite way? Why don't you just make it seem like Larry is just crazy? He's just chatting shit. Just make him seem like he's a paranoid, crazy person. But I guess...
Yeah. I mean, the way that was familiar with them, that talked to us about them, it's somewhat like the ramblings of a crazy person. He signed a subpoena. I don't have the details. I don't know the details of the subpoena.
They subpoena Larry?
There's something in there that they want.
If there is a subpoena that they're interested in, maybe Larry would know about it, because I'm assuming if they subpoena people, they have to tell them.
Yeah, I mean, if it was, maybe it was Larry being subpoenaed?
It's what so from our conversation and from everything, that seems to be what I'm gathering. If, and again, I'm not entirely sure, Andy and Larry are this close, it could be the person that he's talking about in the note. So maybe they don't know, but the subpoena would prove that Larry did talk.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, we could ask him if he would be open to talking to us.
I can ask him.
I think just like getting any information, you know, would be good. You know, my dad said that they were after him, that it was going to be like gangs in the city hunting him. Things seemed fine. And then come Wednesday, I get a call from a justice saying my dad's been injured, to come to the hospital. It looks like he had gashes. He said that he had bite marks on his arm or something. And
bite marks?
Yeah.
From
like an animal.
I was about to say, who the fuck is being cannibal? He was bit by a dog?
Maybe. I think it had led to an infection, and he ended up losing his arm.
Oh.
And then he also had injuries from an explosion, which I'm assuming was a C4. I talked to Tessa Lamb a little bit. Tessa said that she had just out of her house in Pluto, and there were a bunch of cops, and a cop came up to her. She asked them, and the cop told her that it was Barrick and there was a bomb threat, and I guess the cop was talking a lot, and it, like, so much that Tessa had to tell him to stop. That she I think was just frustrated that the cops would give her this much information, and apparently the cop was like, well, you used to be a cop, I just felt comfortable telling you. But Tessa was like, I should have never known that. I didn't give her like really any details. I think I kind of alluded to that I wanted to do something about it, and she said if there was, you know, any way that she could help, to let her know. Prez suggested maybe reaching out to her to help with like grandmas, you know, if we need that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of, I think just, there's like a decent amount that I think we have a start. Like, we kind of know who to question first. We have a general idea. We have to do like the interrogations and try to get more information about them. But I'll just keep it a buck. The point of all of this, I want to find these people. I want to find these people, and I want to do everything that they did. My dad, I want to do it to them, and I want to do more. I want these people to regret what they did, to regret that they're even alive.
Which is only fair.
My dad didn't do anything wrong. He's a genuinely good person.
Wrong place, wrong time.
I'm not a good person, but he is. He was just literally just doing his job. That was it.
Well, some people just don't like people doing their job.
I don't know who these people are, you know, and like I said, I'm a bad person, but these people seem a lot worse. And before they're gonna hurt any more people that I love, I want to hurt them. Feels nearly like an impossible task, because apparently they have attack helicopters and C4 and God knows what else, but I gotta try at least. What do you think of all this?
My first thing is that they're sloppy.
I think they're probably invincible, right? They have everything in the world. Why wouldn't they? Could be our, you know, to our advantage. We have to do this in a way that doesn't raise alarms, because like the minute they are on to that we're looking for them, you know, all hell might break loose. Who knows? Maybe they won't care. Maybe they're, you know, small fish or something. But we have to be quiet about it.
Well, they care enough for them to go after people talking about them. There is some care in the world in there. That's also why it needs to stay between the people that are involved and not get out. So I feel like the second they get a hint that, say, you or Reggie is looking into them, they might start doing a retaliation just like they've done with other people, with your dad, with Larry. Because that's the thing, though. Like, that's how it works, is people thinking they're safe, right, is a thing. And them proving that they're not that will get them off. Yes, it's something that gets them off, in a way.
I'm worried about my other brother, Jimbo. Jimbo took it really hard, my dad.
So, just to confirm, is your dad, he's in the ICU, right?
Yeah.
What's the status? Like, do they know if he's gonna...
He's okay. He's, it was really touch and go the first night. He had surgery the next day and they, amputated his arm because he had an infection. It seems to have gotten under control. And I saw him yesterday. He looked a lot better. He had some color, in his face, and is, I think, stable. It seems like the worst of it is over, Like, what the doctor said is that anything that they needed to be really concerned about gotten under control. Like, they think he's gonna pull through. And
okay, well, that's good.
I just don't know what this is gonna do to him mentally. I don't know who he's gonna be when he wakes up.
You can only wait and see. But from the looks of, like, the text, it seems like he was already on a slippery slope.
Imagine, like, being in that position, writing in a notebook and thinking these are the last things this is the last communication you're ever gonna have with people.
Yeah.
Awful. Seems like he's okay, just kind of waiting for him to heal, and they said it's a good thing that he's conscious. I don't know if they've sedated him or if he just hasn't woken up, but it's better for the healing process if he's unconscious. You don't have to worry about, like, the stress or like eating or drinking, or that all just puts stress on your body, and right now your body just needs to, like, focus on healing,
Yeah.
Jimbo, because he's a cop, and he was like, I'm gonna solve this myself. The police can't solve this. Like, he said he's gonna kill them. I don't know.
Is Jimbo not able to give you information, or is he also very by the book?
He won't give me information. He said that if he gets through this and it goes the way that he wants, he's gonna be a cop. Like, he's going back to the force. Maybe his plan is to capture him and turn him over to the police. I don't know what he wants to do. No, he won't give me anything. He even just telling me about the C4, that was an accident. I think he thought that they had filled me in on what happened. At the end of the day, I have to remember, I'm not a lawyer anymore. I'm not a cop anymore.
Yeah.
I've blown up 2 government buildings. The police have no reason to trust me.
True.
I've threatened to blow up more buildings, I've threatened to hurt people.
Yeah, but I was thinking more in terms of, like, him being family, not so much him being a cop.
Yeah. So he's out. I think he's on some crusade to try to take them down by himself. I talked to my sister Bayweather about it, and I just said, you need to talk to him.
How big is
I think
family?
Jimbo and I are in the same mindset, but he has a lot more to lose than I do.
Yeah.
I've already chosen my path, but it could be an issue though, because if he starts getting loud and they go after him, I don't even know. He's not the most subtle guy.
I think for me, the first thing is I need to talk to Andy to see what she knows, where she's at, what's happening, etc.
I mean, we can see if Andy's around. Because I have a letter for her from my dad. I need to give her that note.
Yeah. I don't think she's flying out on the weekends.
Try to catch her then during the weekday.
That's probably the best option.
But I think that's kind of the TLDR of everything. I think we're gonna try to go for Matthew in the next couple of days.
Do you know where he's hiding?
Yeah.
Or is so he's staying in one space?
To my knowledge, when I spoke with him, he's staying with the gorillas, which are also in Vespucci.
The gorillas.
Which is very convenient. I might have a way to get him. He has a double T. I put parts in it. He has a bad turbo. He has like a 20 mil turbo. And so I'm thinking if I can, we have a better turbo. If I can say like, oh, hey, I have a better turbo. Do you want me to put it in? Him to Tuner or Mosley's and there's nobody there. We can take him from there.
They said that he was let out of jail. That could work. You have people on standby, unless you want to grab him yourself.
I have to be careful about it. I mean, we could just grab him. I would need to call him from an unknown number because I can't have my number linked to it, you know, and say like, oh, I got a new phone. That could work too, actually. Just get a new SIM card.
Have somebody else buy it for you.
I have some SIM cards. I've used them. So it probably would be best to get just a fresh one.
Yeah, but have somebody else buy it so it doesn't show up in your transaction history and then...
Even if you buy them with cash?
I don't know. Maybe? Just to be on the sure side of things.
I think Reggie is working on getting SIM cards and stuff, so if he has an extra one, probably use that. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have too much else other than, you know, the Larry stuff until I talk to Andy. And then I'll talk to Reggie and see how he feels about talking to Larry in this case as well.
Yeah, I would say leave that up to Reggie.
Yeah.
I don't... What if Reggie talks to him and then that Reggie's asking questions, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Well, good. Good. I feel like I'm glad you've been filled in on everything.
Yeah, on everything so far. Alrighty. I don't think I got anything else. Not for now anyways.